Hello, Cancer. This is Don with Sonoran Mystic Tarot. So happy to have you here. If this is your first visit, well, hopefully you'll find this your new tarot home and you'll find your way back often. For those of you who have come often and this is a repeat, well, then I appreciate you even more. You guys are so supportive, and I cannot tell you how much it makes me happy to be able to share my gifts with you and what I hear, learn, and can then share it with you. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. With that said, let's get right to it. Again, Cancer, this is your reading for the week of December 6th through the 12th. First and foremost, general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Second, free will. You have total control. If you don't like something you hear, that doesn't mean it has to happen. You can make things happen. You can make other things happen. You can change things. You have that control. And third and foremost, I do private readings. However, I do not solicit private readings. So if you received an email, a text, a message, something from me saying, hey, I'm going to do a private reading or something for you, it is not from me. The only time that you receive something from me on a private reading is when you request it of me. What happens is most people send me an email at advice@Sonoran Mystic Tarot and say, I want a private reading. And that initiates it. If you haven't initiated it from me, then you've received nothing from me, because I do not send people blind or cold kind of sales things. It doesn't happen. I don't work that way. And that is happening a lot from what I'm hearing on YouTube. A lot of folks are getting those kind of things. So again, unless you solicit from me specifically, I will not solicit from you. Okay? Don't do it that way. Now let's get to it, Cancer. Let's see what's up for you. Oh my goodness, busy. Lots of work happening. A lot of things in the air this week. A lot of activities happening. And it's interesting because you have the 8 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles, and so apparently there are some things that are in the air about learning and growth. And I think this week is more, as I feel this. Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say it's spirituality. This week is all about spirituality. For some reason, you're coming into a period where your spirituality is I won't say necessarily in question, but there's something missing in your spirituality. There's something that you're drawn to, something that you're thinking about, something that needs to be addressed. And so that's what this is about. This is a week of taking time to understand your spirituality, to think about what it is you want from your deity, your God, your whatever it is that you're looking for. And then, is it fulfilling enough? Again, that's the big question. So this is a lot of question. You're going to get your answers. Your answers will come to you by the end of the week. That's the 6 of Wands. That means rising above. That means finding out what you want. That's getting the answers you want. However, the good part is you're going to have a new way of thinking. This is the Ace of Swords. When the Ace of Swords comes out, that tells you a new way of thinking, a new way of approaching something, a new way of dealing with something, but on a very logical plane, a very reasonable thinking, that kind of thing. This is not emotional. The emotion is the cups, So again, when you see this card, this is a different way of thinking about something. And what are we thinking about? We're thinking about spirituality. Again, so you're going to have, by the time the week is over, by the time that you've spent to really work between bringing together your metaphysical side, your spiritual side, and your earthly side, you're going to realize you have a new way of thinking about things, that there's a whole lot of new way to come, and you're going to love it. You're going to embrace it. This is going to work for you, because right now religion hasn't worked for you. Spirituality hasn't worked for you. You feel like you've been detached and not quite connected as you should. So, but this is changing. This is changing. This new profound thing is happening. And it's interesting because it's not going to be structured in the way you think, but again, it's going to be based in some of the structures that you've learned in the past, but not structured in the way that you would expect. And we're not talking about, and this is kind of the thing saying, this is the church, this is the formalized church, and the way this is reading is, it's not that. We're not talking the formalized religion. We're not talking about going to church and all this other stuff, or going to synagogue, or going to the mosque. This is talking about going to yourself, going into yourself, within yourself, learning, connecting to the person inside you, connecting to that energy inside you, and that energy and whom it connects to otherwise. Reaching out, making sure that it's you making sure that your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit are all one. Because somewhere down the road, it was split at one point. And again, it makes you question things No matter what, you're not going to be rash and irrational. This week, you're going to take things slowly. You're not going to rush in. That's the Knight of Swords, by the way, if you couldn't see it. The Knight of Swords is a very irrational card, but again, you're going to rise above all that. You're going to rise above that. So do not worry at all. Ultimately, in the end, you're going to be happy with what happens. That's the Nine of Cups. Again, a Lover's card over top of a Lover's card. So don't be surprised if you have some kind of new love interest that pops in here this week while all this is going on. Maybe as you're dealing with your spirituality, it opens you up in a way that now you're opened up to rekindle an old love or to embrace a new relationship. Change is coming. Again, change is coming. Why? Because again, you're going to change your mind about the spirituality, which is again going to bring you a new way of thinking. So that will make very good sense. Change is coming. And so that is your reading. If you liked what you saw, click on that subscribe button down below on YouTube. Also that little icon bell, click on it as well. And you'll get notices every time I post something. Fascinating weekly reading. Again, a week of development, a week of growth, a week of tapping into your spirituality, figuring out what, who, when, why, and how. Those things are important to you. Once you know those, you'll be able to move forward in a very comfortable way. No matter what, though, it's going to be a good week, a very good week, a week of change, a week of enlightenment. And this is something to celebrate. This is something to very much celebrate. This is Don with Sonoran Mystic Tarot. I will see you next week with another weekly reading. Don't forget to pop me a line and let me know if anything resonates with you. And if you have any other questions, again, advice@sonoranmystictarot.com. But if you don't solicit something from me, do not respond to anything that supposedly comes from me. Y'all have a great one. Bye-bye.